敲英超的冠军是尼泊，二敲欧洲杯的欧洲队冠军是英格兰，三敲祝这个大哥的订阅号超过100万。哎，好的，
可以的，谢谢。
Okay, hello there.
Hello.
I'm with my lovely friend Rocco here today.
Hello.
Today we're exploring Zhejiang Cuisine, Zhe Cai, which is part 5 of the 8 great regional cuisines of China. Do you know anything about Zhejiang Cuisine?
Oh yeah, I know it quite well. So I've been to Zhejiang several times, like several different cities. I've been to Hangzhou, Haining, and it just tastes very similar to like Shanghainese food. It's very sweet, very, syrupy, very rich.
Very syrupy for sure. Because Zhejiang's located on the eastern coast, eastern province of China, so Shanghai is right between Zhejiang and Jiangsu. So Shanghai food has an influence from Zhejiang and Jiangsu cuisine, but I think it's more similar to Zhejiang cuisine.
Yeah. I think it's exactly the same, pretty much.
Pretty similar, yeah. So Zhejiang cuisine consists of 3 parts essentially. So Hangzhou, Ningbo, and Shaoxing.
If you put it into perspective like that, though, the food is actually quite different because Ningbo is all like seafood.
Yes, yes.
And then Hangzhou is like the very sweet, like the sweet and sour stuff. And then what's the third one?
Shaoxing.
Shaoxing.
So Shaoxing rice wine. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shaoxing. Have you been to Shaoxing?
No, I have not. I've only been to Hangzhou, and Hangzhou is absolutely beautiful. Hope you're excited, Rocco.
Hey, I'm looking forward. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten for 2 days. Man.
No, we are starving right now. All right, let's go.
Oh my gosh, that's trippy.
Now I love to dig into this. It wobbles. Man, this don't work.
This is just a massive slab of pork belly that's been stewed and braised for hours, and my mouth is watering right now. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Let's try it.
It's like 5 layers in it. It's so tender. You wouldn't expect it. It's so tender.
It's fatty, obviously, but it's not gonna feel too greasy, does it?
It doesn't. I mean, well, obviously this one is not even fat. It doesn't feel fat at all. It just feels like a lump of meat.
Oh, this is good. I raised it. But if I'm honest, I thought the flavour will penetrate a bit more into the meat.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, the texture is really nice. Like, you've got a little balance with fat in the meat, but the taste itself, the flavour, doesn't really go right into it.
But it's such a big slab of meat, though, I think. Next up, we have the Longjing Prawns. So Longjing is a type of tea, and you can see the tea sprinkled across it. It's kind of like mint, almost. And the flavour of this apparently is supposed to be super delicate.
Do you dip it in, or
yeah, let's try to dip it in. Let's try to dip it in first.
Is it salty?
No, the flavour is really delicate.
It's very slimy as well.
It is slightly slimy. Let's just try without the vinegar first. Maybe.
I mean, you can kind of see, like, when you lift it up. It's like...
No, that's nice. So that slime comes from corn flour to protect it, so it retains all the moisture and texture as well when it hits the hot wok. So the story behind this dish was during the Qing dynasty, when the emperor at the time was visiting Hangzhou. The chefs realized the emperor's robes, and they accidentally put tea in there instead of spring onions.
Oops.
Yeah, yeah. And the emperor really liked the dish. He said it's something that he's never tried before, and they got praise for it. But the secret to this dish apparently is there's no aromatics in there. But what I mean is no scallions, no spring onion, no garlic, no ginger.
It's nothing. It's just
You
tea.
purely cook it with the flavour, with a hint of tea as well. Quite dig it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's healthy as well. I mean, there's nothing else to it. It's just pure prawn.
Pure prawn. You taste the prawn with hintness of the tea, right? It's a very refreshing dish, I think. I've never tried anything as fresh as this before.
And this green powder, right? You mentioned that this was the tea powder, so they grind it.
Yeah.
The Longjing. Mate, this tea itself is probably worth like 200 quid. If you were in Hangzhou right now.
So this is Hangzhou's speciality, the West Lake vinegar fish. So how you can tell whether it's good or not, you see loads of ginger dotted around it.
You can smell it as well. It's very strong.
You can smell the ginger and you can smell the vinegar. And they say if this dish is good, it tastes like one of those Shanghai hairy crabs.
Oh yeah.
大闸蟹.
But that's in Zhejiang as well, isn't it?
Yes.
The
Yes.
Yangchenghu.
Yeah. Cheers, bro. It does taste like hairy crab.
It actually does. Like the texture of the meat itself.
You know what's weird about this dish actually? It doesn't taste like fish. It does not taste like fish.
It tastes like crab steaks, but like one of the most expensive ones. It's very chewy.
It tastes like crab.
It tastes like crab, yeah.
That's strange. Let's try again.
Is it because they boil it, or is it because this type of fish, this species that they use, it's just very crabby-like? Or
I think it's that ginger and vinegar combo that you dip in crab with. Maybe that's what it's about. But it's got a very thick, gloopy, vinegary sauce over it. Do you like it?
I really like it, yeah. But I'll be honest, right? However nice this tastes, the sauce itself from this, from that, from a Dongbao roll, it's just like Chinese takeaways all over again. Like,
Really?
I think it tastes very similar, but it's not as dark as this sauce, like, you know, the yellowy. You know, having worked in multiple Chinese takeaways back in the UK, it's just like plummy, salty, a little bit like sour, and then they all taste very similar, but it is nice. It is very nice. But with this dish, what's special about it is the texture of the meat. It's actually like crabs. It's actually like something else. I wasn't expecting it.
I was not expecting this at all. So I heard many bad things about this dish. How horrible it tastes, and how the dark vinegary sauce is really strong and overpowering. Not to me, not at all. Like
This is probably the best dish so far. I reckon. And I was expecting this to be like fried.
I was.
From what I've seen, like what I've had in the past, it's just like fried. It's just like British fried fish, and then with a bit of the Chinese sweet and sour sauce.
Oh, this is good. I like it.
It's different, like they boil the fish. I think they steam it. They don't boil it, or they steam it.
They boil it. They boil it. Yeah. Another thing I find about Zhejiang cuisine, doesn't have a lot of sodium. It doesn't taste so salty at all.
There's no salt in it whatsoever. Not in this, not in that, not in the Dongboro. Yeah.
So the natural flavours really do come out in a way. I prefer it a little bit more seasoning, if I'm honest.
I like it as it is. I like the sour stuff. This is the vinegar in it. It's just so. It's not overpowering, like you said, but it's good enough. Like the balance itself is really good. It's sweet. It's a little bit sour. It's not salty at all. I hate salt. I don't put salt anytime I cook.
Oh, okay.
I never do.
I'm the opposite to you. I add so much salt.
I just can't stand it, man. It's just like salty, like really, really salty. Would you put it in like any dish you cook? Or?
Yeah, I think salt is the king of seasoning.
But then once you have a lot of salt in it, you can't taste anything else. It's
in proportion, though. I mean, you don't want it to be too salty, and you just get a mouthful of salt. But I think salt really enhances flavour. Oh, but I like this though. I like it.
英格兰，然后就是第3个，我们这个大哥的视频很快就订阅100万人，啊，可以吧？
英超冠军是
利物浦啊，欧洲杯冠军是英格兰，
是英格兰。
然后这个大哥的订阅号马上超过100万人，来，
这个大哥的订阅号马上超过100万人。
谢谢兄弟，你太棒了，文哥，怎么手抄？这是英超利物浦，欧洲杯英格兰，然后他的订阅号100万人。这直接抄上面吗？
对。英超的冠军是利物浦。2敲欧洲杯的欧洲队冠军是英格兰。3敲祝这个大哥的订阅号超过100万。
哎，
好的，
可以的，谢谢。肯定能。谢谢兄弟。
好，我把胸做一手。
Right, mate. The Beggar's chicken.
Dig in. Can we use your hands on this?
If you want, go for it.
Let's go local, mate. Let's do it.
Go for it. What's your
I've washed them since last week. Let's do it.
Actually, I'm gonna use chopsticks. I'm gonna be sophisticated.
Civilized.
Okay, I've got a piece of Beggar's chicken. Oh. There we go. So Beggar's chicken is cooked in, it's wrapped in lotus leaf, and it's cooked in clay as well. So I tried Beggar's chicken once before, and it was the softest thing ever. I think you should just try with the chicken on its own first. It's good. That's some good chicken.
Mate, if only KFC can do like chicken like this, like proper tender, they're gonna take over the world.
What do they put in it?
Is it because of the clay, or is it because of the time they?
It's definitely the cooking method. It's definitely the cooking method. My gosh, that's some tender chicken. So a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, a beggar stole chicken from a farm.
They still do?
Instead of running away, he hid it. Stumbled across the lotus pond first, and he wrapped the chicken in the lotus leaf, and then he dug a hole and he buried the chicken. So hours later, when he went back to it, the natural heat from the ground, because he buried so deep, cooked the chicken.
It was raw.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fresh.
Yeah. He cooked it. And when he opened it up, he saw what we saw, like so many juices thrown out, and he then realised he stumbled across a golden wine. He started selling it, cooking it this way and selling it. So apparently it was so famous it made its way to the imperial courts. And the emperor then dined with the beggar.
He loved it,
yeah. So there are many of these food tales in Chinese cooking, but this is one of them I want to believe is true. Another thing about Zhejiang cuisine, it reinforces the point that you really taste the natural ingredients. The prawns, there's no seasoning in there. It just tastes purely of fresh prawns. And the fish, you taste the sea with the fish, but this, you just taste like chicken. There's no messing about. I feel like Chinese cooking has a lot of bold flavors, right?
Definitely, yeah.
But this does not. It has character on its own, and I really like that. I really do like it.
Sometimes in those fancy restaurants, right, they make fish taste like chicken, or they make chicken taste like pork. It just completely like shifts the whole dimension of taste. I don't appreciate it. I'm very old school. If it's chicken, it should taste like chicken. If it's fish, it should taste like fish. Don't put too much seasoning on it. No, I just want to taste of meat.
What did you think of this whole meal?
Let's say out of 10, I'll probably give it a 7.5. 8-ish.
Yes, yeah.
It's nice. It's really nice. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of Brits will love this because this is all very like sweet and sour.
Do you think?
That's what they used to. I think they would. I think they would.
But
don't very meaty.
Don't you think like the actual real food aspect of it will put them off because it's not stuffed in pies? Like there's no potatoes. There's no ketchup, no potatoes on the table.
I think genuinely they would. I mean, lots of expats here, they try like the Sichuan food, it's too spicy for them. Shanghainese food is probably more compatible with the taste buds. It's more sweet, it's more gentle, it's more subtle. But I mean, I've had better, let's say, Zhejiang food before, but in general as a cuisine, I think I like it quite a lot. I mean, I would go for a Zhejiang cuisine maybe once a week.
Really? Okay.
Did you?
I liked it, but I like the fact because I don't really have this all the time. Whatever I eat is always bold in flavors.
Macadamia?
No, like heavy flavors, heavy sauce flavors. So with this, it's very delicate. It was just interesting, but it's not my go-to cuisine.
You get what you see.
Yeah, you get what you see. That's a very good point. You get what you see. Right. So out of all these dishes, which one was your favourite?
The chicken, by far.
Chicken, yeah?
Chicken, yeah.
I'll go for the chicken. Yes, sir. The chicken
as well?
The chicken is by far the most
winner.
Like, it's genius how they cook it. Wrapped in lotus leaf, wrap it in clay, and then cook it. It's just so protected. The juice just all oozes out completely.
When you cut into it, yeah.
The fish was interesting because it did taste like crab. It didn't really taste like fish. And the donpuro, the pork belly, was great for the first bite. Then it gets very heavy.
It gets very heavy.
It gets very heavy, yeah.
What's your least favourite one, that's it, from here?
I say the prawns probably the least. Or the fish, actually. I say the prawns.
Maybe because we had it, like, it got colder, it got more slimier, but...
It's just lack that oomph. It's definitely very clean, and you definitely taste the prawns. You know, it's got this most original taste.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like after gym, if you were to pick one dish, it would be this prawns. But if you were to have it a nice meal out, then maybe not so. I think the fish and the chicken, top two.
Okay. Alright, man, I hope you had fun today.
That was good. Thank you for inviting. It was good, sir.
Thank you for joining. Until next time, bye.
See ya.